trophy. That is a tribute to us. We think that is. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Let me hear you say, yeehaw! Yeehaw! Well, first off, I'd like to thank you for you got some serious gingivitis going. We are delighted to have a job, and we have a job only because you folks come see us, and we thank you, and we thank Knott's Farm for having us. We are having a ball. This is fun to play here, let me tell you what. And I think that we shall commence. Let's go ahead and start the groove, if we may, as we begin this show, which we call the Hillbilly Holiday Spectacular. Playing banjo, whistling ring. Clever Kevin on the bass. And it goes just like this. Holiday we've had so far. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Well, now we're into the full-on in the holidays, and we're falling into this show, which we call, this particular show we call the Hillbilly Holiday Spectacular. We used to call it the Billy Hill Holiday Spectacular, but now it's the Hillbilly Holiday Spectacular. For many years we were brothers, and now we're just friends. It's got weird. So now we're performing this show, which we call the Hillbilly Holiday Spectacular. We just refer to it as the Spectacular for short. Many songs are submitted into the Spectacular, or for the Spectacular, rather. But many of those songs don't make it. Those songs that don't make it are those songs that we don't know very well. Here's one that we do. You're going to be singing with us. I know you're going to be ready to sing, and I know you will sing when I point at you. And let's do the Jingle Bell Rock. many great Elvis songs. Christmas songs. So we're going to do a medley. We do lots of medleys because we don't know the words to the whole song.
We're going to do a Christmas song. This is a great song. It's a version of a song. Most of the time when we do these songs, there's lyrics involved in singing, but we're going to do an instrumental version of a Christmas song. And this one in particular is a pretty one, and it has nothing to do with baseball teams. Even though it did kind of turn into that because, well, I'm an Angels fan myself, and Rick is a Dodgers fan. So we have these moments, and so he said, well, we'll do this song for you anyway, Kirk. So he turned it into this kind of weird little baseball thing, but it's a really good song. Let's do the breakdown version of Angels We Have Heard. All right.
Oh, wait a minute. I take my cape off.
Oh, tell me more about that. You know, this particular song.
It has no.
up to them. I think I'm better to take off the guitar. You hear that? You hear that in the background? You hear that? That's the sound of the holiday. There's certain elements about the holiday that stress out the children, especially the kids, because they're trying so hard to be good. Some kids, it's harder than others. I know the kids are being watched right now. So we'd like to do a song for the kids, but we're going to do it in our special way. We're going to do it in a way to lighten it up just a little bit. We have a little young one right there. A colorful little kind of a punk outfit. You were a blue monk while ago. You were like, oh, it's not smartphone. Sitting in the front row. Watching the show, not really. This one right there, that one is feeling the stress of the holidays a little bit. So let's do this one for the kids. Let's do this one for the little ones, all right? You better watch out. I'm telling you why everybody. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list. Say it once. We'll find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're asleep. Sorry. He knows when you're away. All those in you in bad or good, so we good for goodness sake. Yeah. Well, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Everybody, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're away. He knows if you went bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Yeah. Well, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not laugh. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. One more time. What did you do? What was that? Santa Claus is coming to town. Look at your evil brother not clapping or anything. Sitting there. Wants to get his phone back out. His sister gets a little attention. This is not working out good for the holidays for that guy, right? Spinning out of control already. You don't know what to do with your hands, do you? So you should be doing this. Too far. Alright. Hey, you know what? This song that we're going to do, well, you sing that song? Let's see if we can people sing on this particular one. About that. It never snows in California, down here at this elevation. So we have to sing about it. Let's do that song. Oh, let it snow. 1, 2, 3. When that sounds frightful, but the fire is so delightful. There's no place to go. Let it snow, let it snow, let it
Dennis is going to be playing Orange Blossom Special. The Orange Blossom Special, however, this time of year he puts lots of red and green in it. And I'm not talking about chili. For all you New Mexicans out there. Okay, I said that now. That didn't make a lot of sense, so forget that. He puts a lot of holiday songs in a very small amount of music. It's incredible how many he crams into such a little space. It's going to be a gazillion, okay, probably 40 or 50 songs. I don't know their actual. No. Seems like more. But it's impressive how each song becomes the next song. Each song transitions into the next. Like, without a transition, it just kind of morphs into the next song, if you will, without any warning whatsoever. And it's amazing, it's the same order. How do you remember the order of songs?
Well, it's pretty easy, actually. Gather around, fellas. You all can hear what I hear. You know that this Billy's going to be having a blue Christmas on the first Noel. We're three kings. At least we'll be rocking around that Christmas tree with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Who will be wearing silver bells while we sing Joy to the World with the help of a little drummer boy. For 12 days. Ready, fellas? Yes, here we go. All right.
tea, my 2 for the tea. And then I've got my 2 for the tea. Then I'm gonna wish you. Santa's on his sleigh. Merry Christmas! Some really a beautiful gal in my bring the room down. Can we bring the lights down just a little bit? Okay, oh, they do, okay. Okay, a little more, that's, I mean, we're up now, so too. Perfect. Can you give me a blue gel? No. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. That's all.